And plus it's like super huge, and it has a guest house and a sports court, and I've seen the house. If I hadn't seen this house, what if I would have included it? It might not have been a good comp. This one also is in Northeast Downey, and it's $12.99. Again, I may not use this one because of its location. Sometimes, but you never know. But you're looking at it, and you're going to keep it in the back of your mind. Go to the next one. This one is on Bengal Road. This is near the freeway, closer to Martha's house. 15,000 lot, 3,000, but I'm telling you, the freeway is right where this fountain is, man. You can hear that freeway night and day.
It's on that side. My brother used to live there on that side.
Okay, but it's a good price that I might just use. This one on Tristan, this is a little bit lower price, but it's a little bit smaller house, so I may not use this one either. Because, see, I went to the bottom of my square footage. Do you see that? 28. And hers is 33. So I'm not going to use this one. And then this is in Northeast Downey again, on Garnish. This is $9.74. But this one I might use because it's a little closer to her square footage and lot size. I'm not going to go through all the photos right now. Wiley Burke. This one's really close to Martha's house. This is 2,900 square feet on a 13,919 lot. So I am going to use this one. Martha, do you have a pool?
Yes.
Oh, good. So this one has a pool. This one might be a good comparison for your house. Okay. This one on Muller Street. This one just closed. This one does not have a pool. How do I know that? I haven't even looked at the pictures. That's because I go out and look at properties, okay? I showed this property. 2,800 square feet, $750. This one was not upgraded at all. And it's a closed sale, so I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. Gainford, this is Northeast Downey, 3,300 square feet, 10,000 lot, $968. I will use this one. This one was on a 16,000 square foot lot, listed at $999, sold for $1,040,000. And the only reason I'm not going to use this one right now is because of the lot size, but I may come back to it. I've seen that house too. 7th Street, this is closer to Martha, but a little bit lesser square footage, same size lot, so I definitely want to use that one. 2nd Street, this one is a really old sale. Look, I don't even have to look because I know, because I do my homework. Closed in December, I knew that. This one maybe the lender will use it because it's close in square footage and lot size, and this one also has a pool. But it's just an older comp. And you know, you just have to keep that in mind. This one on De Palma, I can't believe you got that much money for that property. Okay, 807, 3,000 square feet, not too bad.
2016.
Okay, so do I want to put, well, this is what I usually do because I like to get like an idea. I go to print and I hit quick CMA. Why do I do this? Because it gives me an average, okay? You need to know your market. You need to know what's in it. This gives you a shot at looking at it. So my actives, the median is $999. The average is $1 million. Okay, so if Martha decides to list her house at $1,050,000, I'm going to go, I don't think so, Martha. We're not going to be competitive, right? Active under contract is around $974. Okay, but we don't know what they actually sold for. And this, I'm sorry, well, we have these two. I wish they would have put these under the same heading so that we could average those out. But our closed ones are averaging about $870. So what does this tell you about the market? This is a really good indicator. It's telling you that the actual closed listings are a lot less in value than the ones that are listed today. So that means either two things, that the comps that are closed are the real value and these people are asking way too much money for their listings, or the market's going to change a little bit, okay? But you need to know what the discrepancy is between the closed listings and the ones that are for sale. So right now, if I was going to look at Martha's house, I probably would, and believe me, this is not a science. Anyone who thinks it's scientific. Okay, what's your guess, Felipe? What would you want to list Martha's house?
No, I was just like
Well, you're going like this. I thought you're... Susan, do you have any guesses at this point?
875.
Really? You would go that low?
Well,
Did you ask Martha? Martha, why are you selling your house?
why are you selling it?
Because what are the qualifying questions? The 875 is for Susan who wants a really fast commission. Sorry. And the reason I say that is because the first question is, Martha, how fast do you need to move?
Right.
Are you moving to another state? Do you have a job transfer? Why are you selling? If you tell me I want to test the market, oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not too interested in taking this listing, especially not at $1,050,000. Okay? But I want to help you, Martha, because that's my job. So you want to move in about 6 months. So I think I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to sell right around the 900 range. Okay? But I think you probably should list it about 950.
I get you more. List it with me.
Why did I say 950? Because Bengal is right next to the freeway. I'm going to be below the one on Downey Avenue, and I'm going to be below the one on Marbell, right? Those are my active ones. Okay, and then we can look at a price adjustment a little bit later, Martha, if you want to sell a little quicker, if you feel like you really, need to get this thing moving. But you should know that it's going to take you over 6 months to sell this house, because I'm looking at, I guess I'm not looking at that right. Oh, here it is. Days on the market. See right here where it says CDOM, CDOM?
Mm-hmm.
Things in this price range usually take, look at 3 months.
Okay.
But you know what? If you want to sell in 6 months, then, we can always adjust the price. So Susan, let's go back to you. You said 875 because you went straight to the sale price. So what's your strategy if you're going to be a listing agent? And if you say 875 and Raphael says, I wouldn't list it for 875, I would list it for 950. Okay, what have you just done to yourself?
I get it.
You've priced
Right,
yourself
you just
out.
took yourself out of
Right.
the competition for getting the listing. So what you want to sort of do is find out why they want to move and then try and figure out. So Martha, did you have a price in mind on what you wanted to get out of this house?
Yeah, I kind of, have an imagination. I mean,
Like about how much?
about,
$1,000,001.
more or less.
I knew it. See?
1.1.
This is what I always get. Well, what do you think? You tell me. I'm hiring you.
I know,
So what
right?
do you think it's worth? All right? When you go on enough listing presentations, you get all of this, but you need to have this conversation. Why are you moving? How fast do you want to move? Now, there's agents that were really, I thought it's a good ploy. They would say, well, if you want to move in a week, then we should list it at 875. If you want to move in 3 months, then we should probably do 925. But if you really want to wait 6 months, then maybe 950, right?
Right.
This is not a science, okay? All we're doing is, I'm sorry?
What about for those sellers who say, well, we're not in a hurry?
Well, if they're not in a hurry, then they have no motivation. See, Martha still hasn't told me why she wants to move. So job transfer, you need to downsize, huh? Downsize. She's tired of cleaning a 3,000 square foot house because one more bathroom, she's going to kill herself, okay? No more tidy bowl for her, right? So, but you need to know what the motivation is, okay? Now, she would be really motivated if she said, I bought a condo in Palm Springs and I need to sell. Right, okay, so yeah, that's a motivated seller. Testing the market is not a motivated seller. So you need to ask the qualifying questions, of course. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, Susan, but I think when you're,
The gun. I know.
no, when you're in competition with other people, you've got to find out where you lie. And if everyone's done their homework the same way, so if every agent was as good as I am, sorry, they all would have come up with the same comps because we can't be too far off, right? We did a range of square footage and lot size, and an appraiser should come up with pretty close to the same kind of thing. But, you know, if you were the agent that just did the
Christina.
the little 1 mile radius and he came up with 3 of them,
Yeah.
they're going to have a whole different answer. So,
Wouldn't you be concerned that they're all like 100,000 difference, your comparables?
say that again.
That they're, see how, when you went back to.
What do you mean
It's-
hundreds? Like
it's-
100,000?
but wait a
like,
minute.
I saw one for $899, and then the other one was $999, and the other one was like $1,000,001.
Right.
So they're all like 100. Like as a listing agent, wouldn't you be concerned about that?
What's 10% of $1 million?
Yeah.
How much is 10% of $1 million?
100,000.
Okay.
they're
So do you know that in real estate, people would say that you could offer like 10% below the list price, and that's acceptable. It just happens to be that you're in $1 million price range. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. 10% of 500,000 is only 50,000.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not so concerned about. I think we have a really good handle on the value of this property, and I didn't include the $1 million sale, but my goal in giving the actives was to be competitive on the market, right? Because you don't want to price it out of line with your competition, but we know that it's probably worth right around the 900 mark, more or less. Because if you're going 875, you're going to go 900. So let's see. At 855, this was only 3,000 square feet, Susan. And this one at 885 was 3,200. Right? But this is a really old sale. So the appraiser is going to compensate for time because prices have been increasing. And that was a really old comp. So those are the things that you have to look at and know when you're doing your comps, is that this was a really old sale at 885. And it's the one that's closest to her, but the one closest in square footage. But it's also the oldest comp. Because, like we said, nothing's exactly like her house, is it? There's no 3,300 square foot house here. I have a 35, a 31, a 32. I have nothing that's exactly similar. So when you're doing your market analysis, you have to take all that stuff into consideration. That's why it's hard to be a listing agent, because Michael and I have conversations, and I'll say, "Hey, Michael, what do you think? I've got this house. It's this, this, and this. What do you think the price is?" And he'll go, "We're not looking at the MLS, mind you. I think it's worth about this." I said, "Yeah, that's what I thought too." But now, what's my job? My job is to prove he knows the market well because he's in it every day and he knows all the inventory. I know the market well because it's my job to know the market. So now it's my job to prove what the value is on this house. Now, I might see her house and say, "Oh, no, it's not going to, no. Okay, I don't know until you see the house. So when you're doing your analysis on listings and what the value is, it's not a science. And two appraisers can have two different opinions of value within a week of each other. Okay? Maybe they had a fight with their wife, and maybe they hate the property, maybe they love the property. But you can have two appraisals and they're not going to come in exactly the same. Same thing with real estate agents. We're going to have different opinions of value. Okay? Any questions? Did you understand doing a market analysis? So it's, like I said, it's not a science. You have to do a lot of research and a lot of comparison with other properties, and you have to know the inventory. Now, if you haven't seen these houses, it's going to be 10 times harder for you to do a market analysis.
Right.
Because I know, I've seen this house on Lubeck. Okay, I viewed it, I went in it, I know the house like the back of my hand. I didn't even have to look at the photos, okay? This one sold for this price because it had a 16,000 square foot lot, and it was in Northeast Downey. It had a great kitchen, but it had a lot of wallpaper and it was dated. But I know that that house sold for a certain price because there was something intrinsic about it that was different than all the other houses that I pulled up on here. Does that make sense? Any questions? How about you, Steve?
Soaking it in.
You're soaking it in?